In today's boxing world, legacy is a marketing term, but in the 1940s, legacy was written in blood and broken ribs. It was an era before mandatory 8 counts or medical timeouts. You fought until you couldn't stand, not for a payday, but for a purpose. Today we revisit a real legend, a man forged in the steel mills, a champion who traded his gloves for a Navy uniform, and a hero who came home to reclaim his crown. This is Tony Zale, the man of steel. Zale's toughness wasn't a choice, it was an inheritance. Born in the shadows of the Gary, Indiana steel mills, his nickname, the Man of Steel, wasn't just catchy branding, it was a description of his soul. In an era where a fighter's chin was his only defense, Zale was legendary for his ability to absorb fearsome punishment and rally back when others would have crumbled. Before he was a champion, he was a laborer in the roaring heat of the mills, and he brought that blue-collar grit into the ring. He didn't box like an artist. He boxed with an iron will. Every hook was a pound of cold steel. Every round was a grueling test of industrial endurance. He didn't just fight his opponents, he outworked them. Zale wasn't fast and he wasn't flashy. His strategy was a slow, methodical erasure of the man in front of him. He was arguably the greatest body puncher in history. He didn't look for the quick highlight reel. He broke you down breath by breath, rib by rib, until your spirit simply quit before your body did. At the absolute peak of his powers, as the reigning world middleweight champion, Zale did the unthinkable. He walked away. As World War II engulfed the globe, Zale enlisted in the U.S. Navy. He didn't ask for a transition period or a protected status. He gave up 3 of his best years to serve his country, proving that for Zale, being an American came before being a champion. When the war ended, Zale returned to a boxing world that thought he was finished. He went straight into the Trilogy of Terror against Rocky Graziano. These weren't matches, they were collisions of will. In their second fight, Zale was battered so badly he looked like a ghost. Yet in the third, he returned to knock out Graziano and regain his title at age 35. It remains one of the greatest comeback stories in sports history.
By Tony Zale, a right that goes to the back, a left hook that hurts Graziano. A right hand to the body, another left hook to the jaw, and Graziano is hurt again. Graziano drives to the right to the bottom again, gets away from the right, drives the right to the body, a hard left hook to the jaw that may have hurt Graziano. Graziano is driven back and he's wobbly from the left hook to the jaw, and Zale is on him with a flurry of punches. Another left hook to the jaw, and Graziano almost goes down but doesn't. Him up. He takes the right hand to the body. Zale drives the right hand that grazes the chin. Graziano comes back, fights gamely, but goes down from 2 left hooks on the jaw. And he's taking the count from referee Paul Cavalier. Graziano just up at the count of 8. He is a very wobbly young man. Zale coming after him again, trying for knockout. Drives a right to the body, a right and a left to the jaw. A left hook to the jaw, right uppercut on the mouth by Zale. A right to the body, a left hook to the jaw by Zale again. And Graziano is thrown on the canvas. And the count is 5, 6, 7, 8. He's not going to make it. 9, 10. He is knocked out. Championship of the world. The first middleweight to do that since Stanley Ketchel.
Tony Zale's final stand came against the great Marcel Cerdan. Though he lost his title that night, he retired with 67 wins and the eternal respect of a nation. His trilogy with Rocky Graziano remains the gold standard for ring violence. Years later, Graziano confessed he would wake up in a cold sweat, haunted by nightmares of being back in the ring with a man he claimed truly was made of steel. Zale's impact reached far beyond the ropes. In 1941, he drew a staggering 135,132 spectators to a single match in Milwaukee, a record that remains the highest attendance in boxing history. After hanging up the gloves, he conquered another difficult profession, finding success as a Hollywood actor and appearing in films that immortalized the sport he loved. His life was a masterclass in American character. In 1990, he was awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal by President George H.W. Bush, followed by his induction into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1991. The Man of Steel finally succumbed to time on March 20th, 1997. Though Parkinson's and Alzheimer's eventually took his physical strength, they could never erase his name. He died as he lived, with quiet, unbreakable dignity, just a few miles from the steel mills where his journey began. Tony Zale, the Man of Steel, a true American legend.